Hello there. I have been having a bit of a sort of Indian weekend. On Good Friday I went to our local world market and met an amazing woman called Emily, and she had a stall there and lots of beautiful products from India. Rigs, and I bought these from her, these little birds, which colours are amazing. I wanted them all, of course, in my usual way, but settled for two. I've got them here in my studio to remind me of her, and when I came home I was having a look at images of India on Pinterest and felt really just really geared up and inspired by all those colours that I'd seen on her stall. I'll put the little birdies down and started to paint. These are a couple of what I've made. This is one which is just on wallpaper lining, and gosh, I have had such a lovely time, deeply engrossed in making these. And I'll just show you another. This one here. This one's got quite a lot of glittery. I don't know if you can see the glitter on there. There's lots of little glittery bits. I loved how, as I worked, because I work unconsciously, I just get into being and doing as opposed to thinking and planning. The only thing I had in mind was colours of India. What I loved was how some of all the shapes are different, lots of lovely colour. Like that one there is fairly boundaried, that's the word I kept using. This one here as well. This one feels very solid, this sort of grey grape colour here, and that one there. But some I was actually tapping and splattering into the next shape, like here when I was doing this one, which actually I did that way around. I put Expressive ink out and was tapping quite with energy, and the blobs were just flying outwards and going into the next and the next box. I did it with this one here, there's a little bit there, this one here, and that was, I think that actually was my very first one, and I fell in love with it. I just loved the colours, the shape of it, and I loved the splatters. As I was working, these aren't quite finished by the way, but I want to put some shapes and designs into the, I keep calling them boundaries because that's what it feels like. It got me thinking about boundaries, and boundaries are very important for us, I believe. We have boundaries to protect ourselves. I will say a bit more of that on a separate video, but I want to get us started in creating. I'm loving how it's looking, I'm loving how it's going, and yeah, I just want to keep building on that. I often turn my paintings around just to see how things look another way around. Wrapping paper is fantastic if you go to parties, and there's always an abundance of wrapping paper, especially if it's at children's parties, but some of the more grown-up parties I prefer because, well, some of the papers are just so beautiful. Like this one, it's got camels on it, and I can't remember what else was on it, but this sort of botanicals. Wow, It's amazing how something can just change things. Like that little bit of gold there just changed everything. I'm going to have to tear myself away in a minute, which I find rather hard. Okay. Oops, that's moved. Yeah, lovely. So I found this butterfly on wrapping paper. Oops daisy, I splashed that everywhere. Love it. So I'm going to add it on my crazy daisy. And this is the other half of the wing. Whoops, it was a bit creased, but okay. Love the butterflies.